Good morning. How many, by a show of hands, have ever seen themselves before professionally on videotape? Not just at cousin's wedding. Okay, so a fair number of you. My name again is Jenny, and I am your coach for the next 2 days. What does that mean? My role is to support and to encourage you, to point out what you're doing well so that you keep on doing it. But I wouldn't be a very good coach if all I did was praise. And so I'm also here to be your accountability partner, to really stretch you, to push you outside of that comfort zone and point out those areas in which you need improvement. We will always be going into a private room for coaching, so it's a very customized, really personalized experience. And at Decker, we have something called pivot points. 2 pivotal things that will really make a big impact in your effectiveness as a communicator. And so in coaching, I will always be giving you those 2 key areas in which to work. This morning, it's really just about those behaviors. How are you coming across visually? How are you coming across vocally? What do people see and hear of you right out of the gate? And then this afternoon and tomorrow we will layer in the messaging, the content. But to start off, it's really just about those behaviors. Let me give you a little bit of background about myself so you have some sense of who I am. I'm a San Francisco native, born and raised right in the city here, but quickly got tired of that fog and moved south for college. Went to the University of Southern California and got my degree in both communications and journalism. And I actually started out in LA as a newspaper reporter. And I think that gave me a really solid foundation in storytelling. And in business, that's what it's about. It's about learning the story of your client, of your colleagues, of your competitor. And so naturally, that segued into a career always in the communications world, and more specifically in training. Professionally, I've spent about the last 15 years working in communications for some big companies like CBS TV, Hyatt Hotels, Williams-Sonoma. I joined Decker about 3 years ago. Love what I do, because as a coach, I get to see that transformation. It sounds lofty, oh, we're going to change you. But really, in just a few short hours, certainly in a day, I get to witness that growth. I get to see that progress as people improve their communication game. Let me lastly just tell you a little something extra about myself that you wouldn't normally know that actually relates to all of you and your experience today. Recently, I went on vacation to the Turks and Caicos Islands in the Caribbean. Has anyone ever been there? No one, okay. I highly recommend it. Beautiful, beautiful islands. They had lots of different activities at the resort. One I knew I had to do. It was the flying trapeze, sort of like Cirque du Soleil for amateurs. And I knew I had to do it because I am terrified of heights. So I am at the circus stage and I am climbing that platform, I don't know, some 35, 40 feet up in the air. And I can hardly breathe. My heart is just pumping, racing so much that I think it's gonna pop out. My hands are shaking. I can't catch my breath. Perhaps not unlike what some of you are experiencing now, knowing you're going to have to be videotaped so much over the next 2 days. Finally, on that platform, after a lot of hemming and hawing on my part, the instructor, or the coach if you will, finally just pushed me. And I flew. I flew through that air. I didn't do any fun, crazy somersaults or fancy tricks, but I flew. And I have to say that was probably one of my proudest moments because I pushed through that fear. And how that relates back to all of you is because if you are willing over the course of this program to conquer and push through fear if you have it, to be open to new things, and to really putting yourself and looking at yourself from that new and different perspective, the rewards will be great. And that's the goal, to make each and every one of you soar to new heights as a communicator. Thank you.